Hi, Andrew Kimphy here with Better Sheets, helping you make better Google Sheets every single day. Well, good morning. Today is a really fun day or morning because I am roasting Google Sheets. I literally have just made a cup of coffee. We're going to get through this whole coffee and we're going to get through a bunch of Google Sheets. I'm going to review, give a couple of hints on how they can make them better, and you'll learn along with me about these really cool sheets. We got recipes, mortgages, sales tax. All of this is actually really fun. I'm going to take a sip. We're going to get cracking, or no, we're going to get roasting. Ooh, this one is so delicious. This is from Sidekick. This is Rachel, who runs Sidekick. I think she produced this sheet. This is a list of recipes, and the tabs are breakfast, lunch, dinner, appetizers, desserts, drinks, vegetarian, vegan, 30 minutes or less, healthy-ish, and then reader's choice. It's not just a choice, it's actually reader's submissions. I don't think there are any yet, the last time I checked, yeah. So I wonder if we can help fix that. Right away, the simplicity here is really good. There is just one glaring issue with it that I can fix really quickly, and I can show you what's up. When using this kind of sheet, right, we want to have the name, identity, we want to have that all, but then when someone uses it, as you can see here, I can only see 2 recipes at a time. Scrolling it is really hard, actually, oddly hard. So let's fix that. And really the fix is this. You can do it 2 different ways. One, you can move all of this intro. This is a really important entry into this. So maybe making an intro tab and really beautifying and making that a one-pager with just this information, you can do that. But there's one other thing. I understand if you want to not have an intro and then a bunch of pages. That might be different than what you want to do. So you might want it on this page. So how you do that is this line, the header, you put on row 1, and then you freeze that, and all of this you put underneath it. And so as someone scrolls through it, the intro and the header goes away. This, I think, is a really good improvement for usability. But if you're making a free Google Sheet and you want that to lead to something else, or you want your branding very clearly on there all the time, then my solution is not going to do that. It's going to be better for use, not better for branding. But there is one thing I would suggest they do to this, and it is that this header, Sidekick, doesn't show up on any of the other tabs. I was actually surprised at that. I think having a couple photos at the top of each of the tabs probably didn't want to do it because it did decrease usability. So now I'll show you how to fix this, and then I think it would be really cool to have a different photo of different recipes on each one, like a lunch photo, a dinner photo, appetizers, so that the user know that they're on a different tab. I know it's really silly to think how do you not know you're on a different tab? But these tabs down here is the only way you'll know, and because the design is the same on every single page. So you just want to change one element, which could be a photo, and I'll show you that in 1 second. All right, so I've made a copy of the sheet. The last images are coming through now. The only thing I'm going to do here to show you what's up is first we're going to go to View. We're going to unfreeze row 6. All right, we've unfrozen row 6, and we're just going to move row 6 up to row 1. Now we have it on row 1. Now we're going to freeze row 1. And now we have the header here. We have the intro. Again, I would just recommend a different tab for this kind of thing because we want to really focus on it, and we want that to be one of the first things that people see when they come here. Because we want shares, we want submissions. That's, I think, a really important part that we can go into deeper if you want to do a longer video. And I go into it a lot along Better Sheets videos. But now as we scroll down, we have exactly the same sheet, except it's much more readable. We can see more, we can read more, we can make it even a little bit more readable by changing the font a little bit, by making the font a little different or set up a little different. And also, this Sidekick pictures could change you could add them to each of these, change them for the different brandings of lunch, dinner, appetizers, and I think this makes it a much better sheet. So I think this offers this offers the sheet maker an opportunity to add in their subscribe link a lot more places on every single sheet. You can also one thing I noticed is as you scroll down, like you sort of miss the branding. So I would actually insert into maybe every 10 lines, 20 lines, like, hey, remind yourself, like, subscribe to the Sidekick, like, or you are a subscriber, share it. I would do different things each time, like share this on Twitter, share it on LinkedIn. Very many times if you create a free sheet and you want people to share it, you'll have like share on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, all together. But a list like this, inserting promos into every 10, 20 lines, gives you the opportunity to focus on one. So you can create a Twitter intent link, you can create a LinkedIn intent link, you can create a share by email link if you want to. You can use URLs to link directly to their Gmail and open a Gmail and be like, write the subject for them. And I would focus on one each time because you have such a great list, Rachel. You have such a great amount of tabs here, and you're going to get more reader's choice stuff. Like, I think you have great opportunity. Like, you could put 2 share promotions in between each of on this page. On the next page, you could probably put another couple and focus on like sharing this recipe on Twitter. Perhaps one other thing I just thought of is putting over here on column E a Twitter intent of like share this recipe. I sell a list of 100 Twitter formats, and on that sheet is a Twitter intent link. The Twitter intent link is pretty simple to create in a Google Sheet. It's a URL that you just take the text and put it in the one text area of the URL. Pretty simple, and I think that would add, I think people would love that because they want to talk about these recipes. They want to share them. But also, think about Twitter, think about Gmail. If we're sharing recipes, so many recipes are shared one-to-one. Like, oh, I know my grandma's going to want to do this, or my aunt or my niece or nephew needs to make this. That's also something interesting. Twitter might not be the exact greatest opportunity. I think maybe Gmail might be. This is exciting. This is a really cool sheet. I really like it. Bye. All right. Here, we got a pretty darn simple and sweet sheet here with Fundin. So Fundin made a lead magnet that is 363 questions that VCs, investors ask startup founders. Now the key word here is curated, okay? So their claim is that it is a curated list of 363 questions. What they really did was it's a 363 copy and pasted questions. And you can see the source here. So they've curated / copy and pasted from Forbes, from Early Growth, from Benjamin Libor. That's a lot of, Benjamin has a lot of questions. Startup Hacks has a lot of questions. All Business has a lot of questions. So a lot of different sources, or not a lot of different sources, mind you. That is a few sources, and copy and pasted directly from there. So 2 things I would like to see in this sheet that I think could make it better. One, it is darn right simple. And if you're trying to put out a lead magnet, if you're trying to put out something free in a Google Sheet that is going to then get you more interest or engagement or help it's going to it needs to help your audience, right? And Fundin did a really funky little thing here that I haven't seen before, and I like it. They've copy and pasted their branding over here on the left, and it's not a banner at the top. I would have said, put a banner at the top, and then exactly as I said on another sheet, is freeze this question header, and then right under it, put your branding, and then as people scroll up, that branding goes away. But they wanted their branding all over the place. I think this is really good if you are interested in getting screenshots of your lead magnet onto Twitter, onto Facebook, onto Reddit, these kinds of things. One thing I'd like to see is I think it would work better, though, sort of every 10th, 20th, 30th, if you put a little black bar that says, this is curated by Fundin, instead of a large one, have a nice thing there. Maybe make it so it's screenshotable and always has your branding in there. I would really make this crowdsourced. One of the absolute best things about Google Sheets is the ability to bring in a lot of validated data, sort of formatted data into a place. So looking at these questions, and I'm gonna offer a couple suggestions about crowdsourcing in a couple different ways. One is, yes, the immediate thing you think about is, let's just get questions from startups. What are the actual questions that startup founders got? What these are curated from curation. And so we're sort of a little bit abstracted or aggregated away. It's a sort of an aggregation of 300 of questions that VCs ask startup founders. What I would like to see is one, some submission, like talk to us, engage with us, right? A lead magnet should offer you like a chance to help someone, and then whoever gets helped the most will end up signing up and you get a better relationship. But you can also make the lead magnet itself engaging, and people want to like help that and really make the community come in and add to it. So the first thing you would think is just get submissions. What have you been asked? What are some questions that you've been asked? Here's the second thing that I think could be added to this is a little upvote system. A way to say like, did you get asked this question, yes or no? And a yes would be like an upvote, and a no would be not a downvote, but like maybe it's just like, have you been asked this question? Click here. And what you can do is you can add click tracking. I've actually made click tracking available in Google Sheets. It encompasses creating one sheet where you have all of the like small link, and then a large link, and then there's a web app you can create in Google Script, and I give away that code. I have a video called Add Click Tracking to your Google Sheets, and I give away the sheet that you can copy and paste and get that script and add click tracking. So what you can do with click tracking is you know how many times that button has been clicked, then put that in the sheet. Be like, okay, take all of these questions, here's the list, but then on a separate list, sort them by the number of clicks and have the click be, hey, have you been asked this question? If yes, click here. And so you could create an upvote system inside of Google Sheets, and then this becomes, I wouldn't say it's like a product hunt for questions, but I would say like it's an aggregation of, here's all the questions we think people get asked, but then we've now asked the community, and here's what they actually get asked. One thing as well, I think maybe this is on Fundin, and maybe this is a second sheet that you might want to add, is what are the best answers? What are great examples of answers? This sheet is really simple, and I really like it for that. Like it asks these questions and doesn't give the answer. It's like, you should have this answer. You should know it. Here's a crazy thing this sheet could do. Sort of like a plug and play. Like if there was an answer that is sort of a format that say, here's how you should format your answer. And then in that format, you say like, okay, here's your startup name, here's your market, here's your opportunity. You could create a plug and play system like, hey, answer these 10 questions, and now you have these 100 questions already answered, and here's the format. I think that would be cool. I've created another sheet called Headline Generator based on headlines, actually based on Headline. So Headline is like an AI headline generator. I made a Google sheet based on that, and it doesn't do all the functions that Headline does, but it shows you an opportunity of like, here's how you can create, like, take 10 answers, like simple, like little short answers, and then create like 100 actual answers to real questions. Like market opportunity is one part of like the total rate of growth and possible growth and projected growth. So I think that's a really cool thing you could do. But I really like this sheet. I like the simplicity. I think the last thing I would say that you must change is the font. You have a really cool font here. Fundin, really nice here, but like Arial is just, I don't know. I don't like it so much. You just gotta change it to something else. And that's my Rose to Fundin's curated list of 363 questions that VCs and investors ask founders. All right, Rob from Hotel PPC has given me access to this channel cost calculator, and he wants it roasted. We got the coffee roasted. Now we get this sheet roasted. All right, this is interesting. Right away, like the immediate reaction I have is two things. One, I have no idea what to do as a user if I was just given this. So there might be some like email along with this, or maybe there was like an intro paragraph on like how did I get this? I don't know. In any case, even if you have like an email intro and say, here's how you use this, here's how to use this calculator, or you even have a landing page that then say, hey, go get this Google Sheet, I would highly recommend you put the instructions also inside of the sheet, because you don't know how people are sharing this, you don't know how they're accessing it, and you just want to help people. Like the whole idea is to be helpful, right? And useful. So put the instructions right here. I wouldn't add any, on the calculator itself, I wouldn't have any extra words or any extra instructions. I would put all the instructions on a tab before. The second thing that I see immediately is the coloring, the branding and the coloring. One, there is no branding. I checked out your site, PPC. Here it is, ppcforhotels.com, Affordable Hotel PPC Agency. Great. So what I see here is like a big, beautiful image. Not beautiful, but like an image background. I see a red button up there, white font. When I go to the About page, it is white up there, then dark, and then it's a dark background with this. Here's a first photo of people I see. Rob, here's your name right here. Rob Haddingham. I might be pronouncing that wrong. Put your photo. I want a big smiling photo. Like this agency is you. You are this agency. Rob is PPC. PPC for hotels is Rob. Sorry, Rob is PPC for hotels. PPC for hotels is Rob. Give me your face. You're selling yourself. You're selling yourself. That sounds bad. That's actually really good. And then put your face here. So let me make a file copy and make sure you have a button that says like, get a copy of this inside of the sheet. So we're roasting. Let's do roast. Click OK. Okay. So right away, I think I would, especially if the name is at the top here on the file, I would take this out and I would make it like a nice thing on another tab, like a nice intro. Okay, cool. So I would take off the name and text, put branding on here, right? If you have a logo, if you have your face, I'd keep it here. Maybe make like a upper corner up. But this gives us more room to play here. It gives us more room the text is a little bit small. It's Calibri, great, not Arial. That's awesome. It is 11. I would make it a little bit bigger, especially because it's not too long of a calculator, right? Let's just see what happens if we increase the font size to 14. Not 140. Oh my God. Oh, that's much easier to read. Much, much, much easier to read. Do that again. Great. These boxes. So one thing I see here is there's this arrow, essentially. This text arrow that's pointing to this box. If we make the design good enough, useful enough, we don't need extra elements to point to things. I think what this is doing, what this arrow is doing is trying to get your eye to go from search volume over to here. Well, we can do that just by aligning these to the right. And in design, right, there's one principle that like proximity equals relation. So we can do something like just change the alignment. Okay, we got the alignment. And this space here, or this area in between, we can just delete that. Let's see what happens if we delete it. Let's just look at this design, right? And now there is no way that someone reading this, looking at this, would not understand that search volume is this box. The only thing we don't understand, like if I didn't have any instructions, I wouldn't know what number to put in here. Is this search volume of a keyword? And that is really good for another page, right? You can also put notes here, put comments. You can make it so that a sheet copies the comments, I think. But I think just having like a nice layout of instructions on like, here's what each of these means. You can link back to that if you want, or where to get this number from. This is a user inputted number. This is really good. Okay, double claps for you, double snaps for you. Conversion rate is not an entered number. It is a drop-down list. That's really good because if we have too many fields, and happens so often on calculators. We have so many fields and we expect the user to know exactly what to do, and we don't have any validation at all. And so a user is going to mess up like 90% of the time. Unless they know exactly what we know, they're going to mess up. So having a drop-down menu, having options for people is really, really good. This commission rate could also have a drop-down, different things. Average booking revenue, this needs to be formatted as dollars, I think. Cost per click as well, dollars. And I see dollars and dollars. So you just need a little bit of formatting there to really punch in that this is money. We're talking about money. Here's clicks, transactions, cost per sale. Here's something one reason as well that I would delete all the stuff at the top. And let's just see if we can delete this row. Rows. Delete rows. There we go. Now we should be able to get everything within one viewport. Is that everything? Yes, except for the branding. Let's get that in. because we might put that branding at the top instead. Let's just delete that row. One more row. Come on. Come on. Oh, we need one more. So I think there's 2 rows here. We can delete this row. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it in there. Oh, almost. Almost. We're so close. Delete one more row. And yes, this gives us less space, right? But we can change the font a little. You can change, I think this is at 14 now. You can increase the row size. Oh, that's one thing. You have rows in between these. And that's good because you have these boxes. Sometimes, though, you might want to collapse that a little bit and make those 6 things really like tight if you want to display this extra information. And really, the use of a calculator is not inputting, right? Like the amount, we care about the output. So you want to, and we also care about the relation between the input and the output, right? We want to do away with the work. A calculator does away with the busy work, but shows us this input gets this output. So I would redesign this. I would like ask you a bunch of questions like what really matters here. Right now, I just see that this channel cost is 11%. Obviously, I'm not a PPC person. I don't know what 11% means. I don't know if that's good or bad. Having green, and I say this a lot, like put green as your like end result. But like if a user is using this, you might want to change red and green for like positive or profitable green and negative for red. And so really you might want a different color here. Again, you got some interesting colors in your logo. You have all of the primary colors. I can see here blue, red, yellow, green. On your page, you have different designs, like different color choices. I would bring these color choices into here if this is for a user. If this is for a user that you really want to match your experience on your website and experience with how you like your logo, you want it here. You want your experience to match perfectly. You don't want people to think, is this a Google Sheet from? Where is this Google Sheet from? And yes, you have this text PPC for hotels, but the colors that you use, the font should match too. And I think this got really good places to go. You got to put those instructions on. I love that these are blue. Yeah, that's one thing I do recommend is putting blue, this like bright blue that like no one ever uses in any logo that's never used. That's for user input. Only thing you got to do is tell people that that's what it means. Not with a key, but with like an instruction. Be like, hey, by the way, everywhere you see that there's a blue outline, that's for user input. Say that, like explicitly say that in instructions. Give your face. Oh man, I really want to know more about this and more how, because I think this has got potential here. I like all these. You have more out. This is good. You have more output than input. So you have 6 things of input, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 things of output. That is really good for a calculator. That means we're getting more out of it than we're putting into it. Yeah, instructions on what exactly number should I put in, what type of number, validation. You can put validation on each of these, where like if you put in some non-number, it will scream at you. That would be really cool too. All right, hopefully this is helpful. We are almost done with our coffee. So this next sheet is a mortgage calculator for Google Sheets. It's by Alejandro. It is available right now on Gumroad. Alejandro is here, and it is available for free, I think, or name a fair price. Not free. You name a price. Go get it. It's 4 calculators in one. So Alejandro, here's your roast. The roasted beans are almost done, and it's really cool. So I really like the design of this. I think it's funky. I think it really screams like, I'm not a Google Sheet even though I am. The color, it really reads nicely. I think you could even increase the font a little bit. Right away, this text here is, is that one sentence? I make it like, I don't know, bullet points or something. It was hard to read right away. But also, I wonder like, a user is getting this after they've bought it or bought it on Gumroad. So I really like that you repeat like all of the use cases here and have the different calculators. Click links. I show this in my guide to making Google Sheets for fun and profit. This is a really cool thing. You can create internal Google Sheet links that link over. Let's see how it works. If it works. My internet is so slow. There it goes. Great, so we're on the first one. What's the monthly payment? So now, here's something. I was playing with this a little bit before. How is this different than I literally went to Google and I typed calculate mortgage payment. And here's a calculator on Google itself. So I don't need to get a Google sheet. I don't need to go to your sheet. I can just type in the mortgage amount, interest rate, period, and here's my payment. Let's just add a 0. And let's compare. Let's see if this actually is, do these numbers come up the same? So price is 1 million, down payment 200,000, 30 years, 2.5%. Let's go do that. So I have 1 million mortgage, 30 years, 2.5, and 3951. But I have no place here to put in down payment. That's interesting. That is interesting. So I do have in this Google Sheet the ability to put in a down payment. So let's just say this is 0 for now. So that's 3, 1. Oh, nope, it's not. It's loading. Give it some time. Give it some time. Damn, nice. 3951. That loading time makes it feel like this really matters. Like, that's funny. If it worked immediately, I would be like, oh, I could just keep changing. But like, now that it like took a little time, I'm like, okay, let me think about it a little. Okay, 3951, 27. 3951. Damn, straight on, bang. Okay, that's a simple calculation. In this sheet, you can add that you have a down payment. It's really cool. I would want to see, like, how does, so I click here, right? I'm just adding to 20,000 and it loads this. I wonder if you could create, is this here the mortgage comparison? Is this the answer? I wonder if, I want to compare, like, what is the difference? Yes! Oh, this is good. So, how do different mortgages compare against each other? What is the ultimate price I'll pay if I change my down payment, keep the home price the same, keep the principal, keep the loan years the same, and just change the down payment? I can do that here. That's cool. That's really cool. So I would be, here's my monthly payment, here's how it's going to change, here's how the total interest paid. I would add in here the total amount. So if I want a $500,000 home, what is the total amount I'll pay? Not just, so it'd be interest plus the payment. Interest paid plus principal, right? So so that would be, or down payment plus principal plus total interest paid would be, what's the total amount I'm paying? Show me that. I would also say, if you know that people are going to be comparing, do the comparison for them. Actually, like, okay, so you have this sheet. I would add another sheet, a fifth calculator, and say compare A versus B. So take these, like this list, and then create drop down that you can choose these here. That would be really cool. And then you can say compare A to B and see the actual difference. If I'm changing my down payment to, I want to double my down payment, total interest paid is going to be different, right? It's only changing my total interest by $6,000, it looks like. Really? That's it? So if I pay an extra one, if I double my down payment right now, same home price, same interest, nope, it's not the same interest rate. Oh my God. Loan year 2, let's do 2. Okay, that's interesting. Save $20,000. That's really good. Okay, that's good to know, right? If I double my down payment, I'm going to save, I'm really saving $20,000. So I'm actually paying more now, but really only like $80K more. Like, because I'm going to save that 20, I'm never going to have to pay that $20K extra. So it's really like $80K more to get a lower, and also a lower monthly payment by $600. Man, $600. I think this is going to be around 20. Yeah, $80K. There we go. That's where you save the money. But like, what if I only do 120? Let's see. So an extra 20,000 will save me 4,000. Great. Nice. This is really cool. Let's see the home price calculator. Oh, I really like the back to dashboard button. That's good. That's good. One thing I would say is make it much clearer what is an input and what is an output. Actually make this a different color and then say, hey, wherever you see this color, put in your number. And that's always an extra thing, right? There should be some stylistic change, like a border, because some people are colorblind. Also, some people have different screens. Like, I do a lot of work without the blue light, as if it's like nighttime mode, so I won't see certain colors or certain shades of colors and certain differences. So you'll want to like do different primary colors, but also block it off. Like, put a nice little border on it and be like, anytime you see this color, see this border, that's where you put in your information. Also, around calculators, I think A normal calculator is that you have a number of inputs, like say we're doing addition, simple calculator. Number 1, number 2, add those together, you get a third number, right? 1 plus 2 equals 3. And so we're having more inputs than outputs. We have one output from a number of inputs. I would say to really feel like there's extra value here, to feel like we're getting something that's mind-boggling and really good and like shareable, right? Like you want more outputs than inputs. So right now, or more ways to change the numbers or to see comparisons, right? Comparison is good. We want to see more than one comparison. We don't want just the delta. We want delta. We want like maybe, okay, so here's one way. So you have a mortgage comparison where all the inputs are compared to each other. What you can do as well is say, input this number, 1 million, this number, the price, put in the down payment. We already calculate your loan principal. Great, that's one output. We know what your monthly payment is. That's 2 outputs. But we have 4 inputs, right? We have a 30-year loan and an interest rate. So we have 4 inputs and we have 2 outputs right now. 2 more outputs could be, take this number, 30, and if you know that it's going to be like increments of 5, do the math and create another calculator. So this calculator is very good. Call it like the simple monthly payment. Create another one and say, we're going to extrapolate based on your number. So actually put in 30 for someone. So the only thing someone needs to put in is 1 million, put in the down payment, maybe put in the mortgage interest rate, maybe. But we're going to extract, we're going to show you all of these numbers. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Show just across the graph, put in those numbers for them and get the result. So it's a graph of their monthly payments. So show that graph. Same as the 2.5%. Do it like increments of 0.25%. Subtract. And you can do that easily by adding, I think I made a copy of this already. You can add a column. Let's do that. It's locked. All right, you know what I'm talking about. Add a column and then just don't put in this number again, 1 million, 20, or 200,000. Keep those as 2 inputs and then get those outputs across. Then what's going on is you have 2 inputs and then you'll have at least 5, maybe 10 outputs. You'll have the loan principal, you'll have the monthly payment, but you'll have the monthly payment with differing number of years, with different number of mortgage rates. Then combine those and do those in different ways. So you might have 12 different outputs. But that would be a really cool step up, right? Get this simple one done. You have it here. Add another one. It's like, hey, do you want to see a graph of all of these possibilities? Oh, that would be really cool. All right. I think that's enough. Make sure, I'm going to do an outro now. This will be edited later. But make sure you take a look at the mortgage calculator that Alejandro is building on Gumroad. Name your price, name a price, get a copy of the spreadsheet. You would not think that I would enjoy sales tax calculators. No one enjoys sales tax calculators, but when it's in a Google Sheet, it's really exciting. And this one has a lot of really fun things that I can recommend to you to check out, to change. One is you have instructions here on the right. So let's go through the sales tax calculator. Here's the actual sales tax calculator right here. It's essentially 6 lines. We have make a copy, we have common tax rates, and we have an introduction and a key. Okay, great. Instructions I would absolutely put on a separate tab because in this case in particular, your information is nicely compacted into one right here. And you're adding this like, I guess, invisible border, right? A no man's land or no data land here, and then have instructions. What I would do is I would put this on a separate tab and I would have screenshots inside of that tab and said, okay, and make little, just take a screenshot and then draw on like Adobe Preview, like in a PDF reader, draw little lines that point like step 1, step 2, step 3 on these like screenshots and show it. Or make a Loom video. Loom videos are really simple to make. You can make free ones. Loom.com is available for free for, I think, 100 videos for up to 5 minutes. If your instructions are more than 5 minutes, break it into parts, break it into sections, and say like step 1, do this, and it should be 30 seconds. Step 2, do this, 30 seconds. Step 3, do this, 30 seconds. And then What I've really done in a lot of sheets where I have those kinds of Loom videos is you can keep adding to that as questions come up. As a frequently asked questions, you can keep adding to those instructions. Let me make a copy of this because I have 2 more suggestions, and one of them is about this file make a copy link. So you file make a copy. You have this button here and it copies it, right? So if I click that button, this is what shows up, not a blank page. Let it load a little bit. It's Google's copy document page, which is super Google. Like this is a simple like just make a copy page, but there is a really fun thing you can do, and it takes 2 seconds. Up here in the URL at the end, let's go to the end of the URL. Instead of copy, what we can do is write. We're going to delete copy template and then /preview. And what this does, I'll show you, is takes your sheet and shows it, and then has a use template button over there, right there. So this gives people a view into the sheet. Once they have access to it and they want, let them know what they're copying. This could also be like a security issue, like if you want to make sure people know what they're copying. See, like bam, right here. This is much better experience than that copy text experience. So I would say change that link to that. Let's use this template. All right. So we made a copy, and here I would just say click here, make a copy, click here. Let's go there, see what that URL is. So really, this is like a really simple fix here. We're just going to go to this URL, and again, just enter, delete copy, and put template preview. Go. But I would also put this button. I would make it a button. In Better Sheets, I talk about all the time making really cool looking buttons. Design. I'm not going to go into that now because it takes like a few more minutes than we have. But I would put this on a separate tab. All right, so now that we have the start here, sales tax calculator instructions, and we have the file make a copy here, we can go and delete that from the other tab. All right, I discovered a secret, and I will fix that secret. So this D3 is a list of a range, but it's only inclusive and exclusive. So you go to data validation, and it's a list of a range, but we can just make that a list of items. I don't know, inclusive, exclusive. Okay, save. And that'll be the same thing there. Now we can delete this, and everything's fine. Yeah, so, oh, nope, it's not. Okay, there is a little bit of an Easter egg here, and it's really fun. It's really cool. So if I change exclusive and inclusive, so now there's 2 items there to inclusive, we get this. So I don't know what's exactly happening. Maybe I didn't read the instructions properly. But I think this is a cleaner look, at least, and gives you the opportunity to do more. Which one last thing I would do is the text. Arial is like the basic, the bare bones what you can do. If you want an interesting option, I would change the text to consolas. And this seems a little more calculator-esque, like this is sales tax calculator. I would make the text like that. I would also change the size. Right now, I think it's default 10. It gets really difficult for users to see numbers that small. There's a certain population for which even 10, 11, or 12 font is hard to read on a computer screen. And, something like 25% of all Americans have some disability and that includes like color blindness, that includes eyeglasses. Like people with eyeglasses like myself have a hard time seeing tiny font on screens. So you want to be a little more inclusive and try to increase the size of text, especially when you have the room and opportunity to do so. I would suggest at least a 14. If not, if you can do more like 16, especially if it's a simple few things and they can all fit within the viewport. There are different types of viewports, like if someone's using this on mobile, you might want to look at that and take a look is the font size wrong for mobile, and there might be a good fit down to like 14 or 15, but 16 I think for this is like a really good one. And then for headers, so I have a tough time thinking that this is good to have sales tax calculator here when you have the name of the whole sheet is sales tax calculator. Just one more text you can make look really simple. Simplify, minimize what people see. The key you can also put as down more or keep it in the viewport if it looks nice. This one looks nice. This is like one of the coolest ones. I love that this inputs is in yellow and this outputs is in orange or red. Really like that. That's really cute. And you can keep going with that, change up different fonts. I would say Comforta here is a good next step. There are so many options here. But let's look at what Comforta looks like. Comforta? I don't know how to pronounce that. Let's go with Comforta. Yeah, I think that looks fine. Then maybe like a 15. There you go. And yeah, it doesn't necessarily look like Google Sheety, but like, why do we have to look like the default Google Sheets? We don't have to. This is Better Sheets, baby. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.
Don't make any sheets, make better sheets.